England, we will be seeing 85 to 90% of the solar eclipse on April 8th. And what we see here is going to be a little bit different from what you can see where it will be 100%. Kelly Bates breaks down the totality terminology with a little bit of help from NASA.
A total solar eclipse doesn't happen every day. No doubt, it's truly an event to behold. But as magnificent as totality is, it's merely a perfectly placed shadow.
Essentially, a solar eclipse is just, you can think of it as blocked light, right? So it's when the moon eclipses our sun. And this means that our moon, as it's orbiting the Earth, as it's going it around, it just happens to be in the perfect location and the perfect distance from Earth to be able to block all of that sun's light.
We can chart out the path the shadow will make on the Earth. Those not in the path, but close enough to it, will see a partial eclipse, like here in southern New England.
In a partial eclipse, you can think of it as the angles, I guess, between where we are on Earth, our moon, and our sun are just not perfect. We're just like a little bit out of that beautiful path of totality.
Back in the totality track, the eclipse starts with shadow bands. They're often described as similar to the shadows at the bottom of a swimming pool on a sunny day. They're very brief, and when 1% of the sun is remaining before totality.
Shadow bands are kind of like these long, dark strips or arcs that move rather quickly. They're also separated by white space. They can kind of see them on like the sides of buildings or on the ground, for example.
As the eclipse progresses, shadow bands transition to Bailey's beads. To understand the phenomenon of Bailey's beads, you have to understand the landscape of the moon. Since the moon has no atmosphere, it has taken direct hits from comets and rocks over a long period of time. As a result, the surface of the moon is cratered extensively.
So it's not a perfect sphere. It's not like a marble in the sky. And so as that moon is going in front of the sun, all of those little jagged pieces around the moon, those bits of light from the sun can kind of burst around them and cause these things called Bailey's beads. And then
From here, we enter the peak eclipse phase called the diamond ring. It's when all of the sun is covered by the moon, and all that's visible is the atmosphere of the sun, and it is breathtaking.
as you can see one of those beautiful bright bursts, and then you're seeing the sort of glow from the atmosphere of the sun behind the moon as well. And it makes what looks like a diamond ring. It's quite lovely.
This phase only lasts for 4 minutes, and it is the only time when you can look at the sun with the naked eye. From totality, you experience the events in reverse as the shadow of the moon moves on. Now, since we won't see totality here in southern New England, we will experience this as a partial eclipse with glasses on for the whole event. In Providence, Kelly Bates, ABC6.